Aloha, here we are at Somerset Beach. Good morning YouTube, Brad here back for another part of the Cape York trek. The tail end, we're on the downhill slope, heading downhill, down Bamaga Road at the moment. Got out of camp at about 6:30. Last night at about 6:30. A couple of cars of the locals come in and camp just downstream of me with their puppy dogs and the whole mob were there, so that was fun. Went to sleep, or crawled in the tent on dark about 7:30 and watched some iPad, and then fell asleep, and then at 12:30 a car started up next to me. I never even heard it come in, never seen the lights, never even knew it was there, but it backed out and took off and woke me up, and then she was a pretty restful sleep for the rest of the morning, but that's camping in public. But that was a good night on the Wetlock River. We've just passed the Frenchman's Track turn-off in Bravia Downs, where the bypass road is to go across to Weipa. Originally, when it was going to be a 3-day trip, I was going to go across to Weipa and spend a day there, but that's not happening this trip. So remember when I said this? Air compressor, which is going to get put away because I'm not going to be pumping tyres up and down all the time. There's a time for it, and it's not on dirt. It's that's for sandy stuff, but again, we'll talk about that on the trip. Well, yeah, I'll eat me hat, I'll eat crow. I haven't put any air back in the tyres since the sand ordeal, and it does seem to be better. There is marked improvement now. I can't tell you what the tyre pressures are at. I just eyeballed it. Probably my back rear on this side's a little bit lower than the rest, but it's still not, the sidewalls aren't touching the ground, so I'm just cruising along here at 85k an hour. Stick to 90 on the tar, not going any faster than that just because they are down, because we've got another 30 k's of this until we get to the PDR, Peninsula Development Road. I didn't mention that at the start, but you're watching this, so you know what the PDR is. Got some sealed section on Archer River, and then it's random. It's random where the tar starts and where the dirt starts. Some places you think, well, this should be tar through here, but it's not. Then other places where it's just dead flat bit of road, it's tar. Anyway. Our first waypoint or goal is Cullen. We've got to stop back in there and get fuel, and then we'll probably stop at Archer River on the way past. It's 7 o'clock now, so I don't know if they're going to be open or not by the time we get there, but I think that we're still another 40 minutes away from there. If the roadhouse isn't open, at the very least, I think we can get down. You can drive down onto the start of the causeway, the old causeway, but there are bollards across to stop people driving all the way across. I think that's what I spotted when we come past 2 days ago. It has definitely been a whirlwind trip. But with that little bit of solar I was able to put in the car yesterday arvo, it sort of maintained the battery at 90% until the sun went down. Although in saying that, got things ready this morning and it was down to 42% I think, so it was a very warm night. I had the fan going most of the night, but then it would have been after 12 o'clock after that car left and I was awake that turned the fan off, and would have been not long after that where my bed sheet got thrown over just because it was starting to get a little bit of a nip in the air, and I think it was about 23 degrees as the car says this morning, so that's pleasant, that's nice overnight temp. But in saying that, here we are the second morning. I'll get you around the front so you can not look at me. Second morning, because my last coffee was at Gunshot Creek, so second morning without a coffee for a wake up, so it's just weird, even though you're not really getting much sleep, just sort of laying there resting is doing its job. I'm not really getting tired until we get into camp and the sun starts going down again. But today, for this part, our goal is Lakefield National Park, Battle Camp Road, and hopefully, we'll see what time we get there. We're going to get to Kennedy's Creek Camp tonight, or the Savo, but we'll see what happens, because I punched Cooktown into my GPS and it said we're due to get in there about 3:45. It'll just depend on what's between here and there. You've seen most of the sites already, so you're going to see it in sped up footage or in a montage probably once we leave Archer River. Got Isabella Falls, Endeavour Falls, stuff like that along the way from Old Laura back into Cooktown along the Endeavour Valley Highway, or Endeavour Valley Road I think it is. But in saying that too, I drove past about 6 or 7, probably more, turn-offs between Townsville and Innisfail to certain waterfalls and stuff, and filming never does it justice, but we'll see what happens, because I don't really want to express it to Cooktown, because the planned camp was about 80k south of Cooktown at Archer Point. And then we're going to go on from there into the Daintree, but I haven't been able to have phone signal for the last day, so I don't know what the weather's doing down here. We've finally got sun, even though the smoke haze is laying low, but we've finally got sun out today, so maybe that means we might get a couple of days of clear weather. I'm hoping so I can go down to Cape Tribulation, but we'll see what happens with that when we get there. In the meantime, more dirt, more smoke haze. And just more adventure. So here we are at Archer River, the old causeway going down there. There's one of them super campers camped down there for van so we won't go down there. But seen photos the last few years of this bridge, the poles getting driven, getting some progress done, and getting to the wet season and just seeing the water going up over it. Decent size eagles floating around here too. So again, no drone in the air, but there goes a camper. But yeah, just how high that bridge is, yet there's high water level markers 2 metres above it. The reason why Archer River Roadhouse used to be an oasis here when travellers would come up and you just couldn't get across Archer River. And there's plenty of video. Go back, have a look at the older videos of cars getting stuck, cars getting washed off, all the drama that used to happen here. Interesting, they've removed that bollard there. I'm guessing that gets put back in when the water starts flowing again. But I was going to try and push to get here last night, but I was thinking just, yeah, you can go over and camp on the sand or camp under the bridge. A lot of people have, but it's all sand, and we know how I like sand and how I don't like getting stuck in it. So Yeah. Something different, something new, but that'll do it. It's Archer River. We'll keep on heading south. Corrugations are thick and fast here. Oh, we just stopped in Cohen, refueled 70 something litres there. Even with all that driving around the sand up the top and Bamaga Road and all that sort of stuff, we've sort of nudged up into the 13.5 litres to the 100, which is more than expected, but that's okay. Still not anything bad. So we stopped in Cohen, got fuel, grabbed a pie at the Bay Marie, and I can understand they probably don't know how many visitors they're going to get in a day. Yesterday I did stop at Bramwell Junction Roadhouse coming back down Bamaga Road before we got to the Wenlock, and just after eating healthy all this time, just wanted some fat food from the Bay Marie, but unfortunately the only food they had there, except for chocolate bars, were stuff to order, and I wasn't hanging around for a $30 hamburger, so we kept on trucking south. And same thing there, they had a couple of I think it was bacon egg roll, weirdly just roast chook, not battered or anything, just roast chook. It'd have to be, well, I've seen the wings, but they had a little bit attached to maybe a bit of a breast, and the wing just roasted with no, well, there wasn't any other colour on the meat except for on the skin except for brown, so I don't think it wasn't marinated, it wasn't fried, it was just chook. And let's just say there's a lot of crows and hawks flying around. Anyway, I always thought, and this again, I've had it happen on trips before, where you imagine one thing and then just it'd be completely different. I thought the PDR would be just flat, maybe not dead straight, but you'd have long straight sections. Yes, you're going to have the dirt sections, but I reckon there's probably, there'd be under 50 kilometres of dead straight flat road. It's just constantly up and down. We've just come up over another mountain range there. We're just about to come off the dirt back onto the tar. Just Gauges step up. That's not too bad. Silence. Yeah, there's another mountain range we've got to go up down here a bit further on the other side of Musgrave Station, but it's just up and down, left and right, across the countryside, across the peninsula. I did not think it would be like that. The other issue, we had phone reception at Cohen, and I'd done a bit of a look ahead, and the coast looks wet. Cooktown to Townsville's got rain forecast for the next week, and looking at Laura, which is the nearest weather station you get a weather forecast for before you get across to Cooktown, it's going to be nudging 40 degrees today, so I've got some time. We're still about 200 k's out of Laura. We might be adjusting the plan some more of the trip now. At the end of the day, going up, getting the hand on the sign was the purpose of this trip. How we got there and how we got home were just side adventures. So I'm gonna do some thinking, plot some different locations in the GPS and see where I can get to tonight, and just because we're definitely going to go to a plan B, because I've got me tarp and that I can hang out, but just you're going to be back over in the coast in the humidity, and I don't want to be packing that rooftop tent up wet, because everything inside's going to get wet. Yeah, don't know, but you'll be the first to see what happens when we get down here a bit more. So probably got this tar for another 5 or 6 k's, and we'll be back on the dirt. See someone a couple of k's back approaching, so I'll slow down, let them pass before we get to the dirt, because they'll want to tear at it. And at this point, I think the goal, or the plan, is just keep on heading south. The only problem is we can only go as south as Atherton, and then we've still got to cross over the range and back down in Innisfail anyway. So yeah, don't know what to do, but I'm going to think about it. Rightio, we've just we've battled all the way down the PDR. We've left the dirt behind, we've left the corrugations behind. We're at Lakeland Roadhouse, the BP here at the bottom end of the PDR, at the little place, town, village of Lakeland. I'll leave you at the front for a moment. A whole heap of stuff here to restock up on. $1.98 for diesel, so cheaper than $2.50 that I've filled up at Cohen. And yeah, you might notice that we're not heading east towards the Bloomfield Track, Battle Camp Road and Cooktown. We got it down a bit further, got to Laura, and discovered, pretty much confirmed that it's going to be wet for the next few days down through there. So we are going to change the trip up again. We've been to the tip, we've touched the sign, so we can't take that away from the trip, but going over and doing the Daintree and all that stuff just isn't feasible at the moment. And the only problem I've got now is what was it, 10 to 2, so we can go. The next major place down here is Mareeba, and then we've got Atherton after that. And from memory, when you go from Atherton back over the hill, there's not a real lot of camping opportunities on the side of the road, so I don't know what we're going to do for stay tonight. I've just checked, my battery is now back at 100%, so that's a plus. But we're probably going to drive until 4 o'clock just so it stays topped up, and because it's 35 out there at the moment in the shade, so we're not going to find any water to camp on. We're not going to be able to have a water source, so we'll drive until it starts cooling down again. And ultimately, if I've learned anything from this trip, is just that this car is not set up for long trips like this, power wise. It was only by luck being able to stay at my mate's place and charge it overnight at Townsville. If I wasn't stopping there, I probably would have got to Cairns or the Daintree and been out of power. For the trip back, we're going to go across to Lakefield National Park. We would have had a full battery by the time we got there, but then we're only going to go from there to Cooktown and maybe down to Archer Point. 160 k's, 200 k's, that wouldn't be enough to charge the battery. And once we start getting back down those tropics, well, really today's the first full day of sun we've had, and the day before was the only real camp I've been at where the sun can come into camp. And that's going to be the problem, especially when you get down there in the tropics. Or the rainforest areas. You're just going to have that jungle canopy, and solar's not going to do one iota of help for you. And when it's in the mid-30s, you don't want to be camped just out in the middle of a paddock so you can get solar, because you're not having a fun time. So this will be the last video in the series. I'll show you snippets of some stuff we're going to have a look at on the way home. So it will be a little bit longer than the last two videos most likely, but I haven't started anything yet, so that could be false. Got a couple of dim sims wells there too. Finally a Bay Marie. But the other reason I wanted to stop there was they actually had an air pump there, unlike Hahn River and Musgrave Station. So I wasn't far off when I let the tyres down. All four tyres were about 25 psi, so I eyeballed it pretty well. In saying that too, we did just drive down, I won't say large sections of tar, but a fair bit of tar in very hot conditions with the tyres at 25 psi, so that's why we're only just putting along doing 90, not trying to get any more heat in them than we needed. I've got the back ones up to 40 now and the front up to 35, so we'll see how that goes now, going south. I couldn't honestly tell you what they were on before I left home. But some of the size of the wedge-tail eagles and that here, fending off roadkill to smaller hawks and not paying attention. That's probably the most... There's signs up everywhere saying, watch out for wandering stock and that sort of thing. Roos haven't been a problem. I've seen some dead pigs on the road, but I haven't come across any myself. The most wildlife I've had to slow down, stop and swerve to avoid is bloody massive eagles defending a dead roo or something on the road. So But anyway, we're back on the Mulligan Highway now. We'll slow down and do a small drive by Palmer River. I was sort of hoping maybe tonight just to break the trip up a bit by getting a motel room or a donger or something somewhere, but unfortunately there doesn't seem to be anything at Mareeba and Atherton. You're looking at nearly $250 for a room. That's off booking.com anyway, so we'll play it by ear and see what's there as we go through town. But more so just because I haven't been able to upload any of this footage onto my laptop since Townsville. I've mentioned the Hawks. I don't want to risk the drone at the moment because it's got all my footage of crossing Cockatoo Creek and that lagoon, and I don't really want to have that footage lost because I sent it up and went up 1-1 against a bloody eagle. So as we all know, that it will not go well for the drone. But anyway, that's the plan. That's what we're doing. Heading down the Mulligan Highway back to Mareeba, Atherton. We'll head back down over the hill to Innisfail. If we can stay just this side of Mareeba somewhere tonight, that should get me down to Townsville and hopefully either back out to McCrossan camp where we stayed the second night on the way up, or get through Charters Towers and stay somewhere on the southern side of Charters Towers, because that way we should be able to go from there all the way down to Hebel. Time permitting, I might even go into the open mine and stay there, but it doesn't really... It takes time to hook the shower and all the water and the power up and that, so it's not really a benefit to travel half an hour in off the road to get to the opal claim, but at least get to Hebel. There is a little caravan park, or it's a hard stand behind the pub for caravans to park on. It'll be no good in the heat, but failing that, Engledale Weir, just south of town, there's a little camp area there that's shaded, so I know that's there. No one was there when we come up, and with school holidays over, will they be over? Yeah, school holidays over, then we might be able to stay there. So that's the plan, and then that'll get us home. Where are we today? I think it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We'll be home Tuesday, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 12. It'll be a 12-day express trip to the Cape and back. And might have Thursday off, and I might even go back to work on Friday just to dip my toe in before the weekend. But that's it. That's the plan. We're going up over this big range here now. Rollo Gallop Bridge. Get into my coffee before it gets cold. And yeah, I'll keep on pointing out things down the road as we head south. Back to a cooler Victoria. So you wouldn't believe it, guys. Coming down, we just come through Mount Carbine and getting closer to Mount Molly. And I got some signal back and checked out Wikicamps. Wikicamp? No, I think it's Air Camp. One of the camping apps anyway. And this little ping, well, the other side of the creek, this is Mary's Creek, just north of Mareeba. We're still probably about 70 k's north of Mareeba. But there's a camp, a marked public camp on the other side of the river, off the road a little bit. But slowed down, and as we come across the bridge, I noticed this little turn down into here. Nice flat spot there. Water on the fire down there, so obviously someone spent last night here because that's pretty fresh. And yeah, this lovely looking little creek, Mary's Creek. Now we're inland a fair bit. All this is coming down off the mountain ranges. So if we're any further north or in the Cape, I'd say this has got croc habitat, especially the big sandy banks and the reeds and that in it. Just scream croc nests to me, but that must be a big island there because we got this flow coming through here, and a good sign that people have been swimming in the spot is kids making rock dams. We used to do it as a kid, my kids do it, and wherever you go where there's water, there's a rock dam built somewhere if there's rocks. So then we've got another little inner branch coming in here where it combines and goes in and underneath the bridge. Now that is the road bridge there, so we're going to cop a little bit of road noise, more so truck noise tonight. It's a little bit rough, so there's going to be some banging and clanging going on, but to think I wasn't going to get on water, and I reckon it'll be about 28 degrees in the shade here. It's just that breeze is blowing. Mwah. I'm so happy. I'm stoked. This is a great spot. There's a sign, a hand-painted sign nailed to the tree up there saying take your rubbish, which again leads me to believe that you can camp here. There's nothing else. You'd think if they're going to nail a sign to a tree saying take your rubbish, they'd also nail a sign under it saying no camping, get out. We're a fair way out of Mount Carbine. We're still a fair way around from town there. There's a house on the bottom side of the river here, about 100 metres off the road, so they shouldn't hear us. And then, as I said, there's signs either side of this track, probably about 200 metres back, free camping, free camp. So I dare say we should be alone here. Even the locals, any locals here are on property and probably already got property on the creek and got their own swimming spots. Plus, while I was parking, I watched about 6 or 7 cars drive past and not one looked down here as they drove past, so it's just hidden off the road. But I'm loving this. This is great. I have dipped my toe in. It's sort of it's not as warm as the Wentlock and it's not as cold as Gunshot. It's sort of in between, which is good because the Wentlock River, even going to sit in the shade, it's sort of, you don't get refreshed by warm water, and even once you get out, the warm wind blowing on you isn't refreshing. I ended up using a spray bottle last night, just spraying the face and body to act as a little bit of air conditioning for the while the breeze was blowing. But that Gunshot Creek water was just probably on the cooler side. The worst thing was jumped in, got wet, then you had to walk 150 metres back uphill through the black dirt and dust to get back to where we'll camp. So I probably could, there's rocks here, I probably could come down, because I'm sure if I was camped right at the hole here, it would stop anyone coming in, but that would leave that spot, and you can back in on the right side of the road there too. Looks like there's a flat spot. Knowing, seeing what I've seen down the Murray and that, if there's a metre space that someone can get to, they'll go in and get to it. So I could nearly even camp down here and just set a tyre on that beam, and that'd nearly level me out with my level and block anyway, but we won't need that tonight. We'll sit up there out of the way. Going to be mindful of any wriggly sticks that come out of these reeds. Hopefully none. But anyway, happy, sweet spot. Then we cut to me in the morning, bloodshot eyes. Oh my God, worst spot ever. But I don't think we're gonna have that problem. We're just gonna, it's probably waist deep here, bit shallower down there. We're gonna get in it and we're gonna walk across onto that sand and sit on that sand, so at least we can see what's coming either way, just keep mindful that we may not be alone in this watercourse. Love it. Morning, budget travellers. Currently 6 a.m. I woke up to some very dark, ominous clouds. Guarantee it is raining over there, and it's just started spitting now. I raced to get the tent closed just before this stuff started coming. Now I've only got me patch of grass from home. And a couple of things to pack away, but they're all goes on the outside of the car. It doesn't matter if it gets wet or not. So yeah, what a bummer. Here we thought we were going to beat the rain. Technically I still have, but crappity crap. Well, I'll finish packing a couple of these things away and just wait it out. There is blue sky over there, and you can see the sun trying to poke its head through the cloud there, so hopefully it's just this light stuff blows over, because it's 6 o'clock. I don't have to get on the road yet. Make a coffee, it's nice and cool, so have a coffee and make a bit of a plan for the day. Some interesting things happened last night, and I'll tell you once we get on the road. Yeah, the locals know about this place all right. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, coffee up and make a bit of a plan, see what this weather wants to do. And yeah, before I go, one quick thing in regards to the rain. When we done the Flinders trek, we got all nice and dirty like this, the car I'm talking about, not me. And hit those heavy storms coming back from Mildura and pretty much just wiped out any sign that we'd been into the outback or anything else. But I'll film this little bit now because it's guaranteed we will hit some rain and the car will be clean before we get back to New South Wales at least. But there's a nice layer of dust out of the back. Not as much as I thought. I thought the back would be completely white or completely red. But I can only imagine what the underside looks like with all the bloody bull dust and that we're going through south of Bramwell Junction. But just a bit of a record. And surprisingly enough too, very little bugs on the windscreen. I cleaned that windscreen at Roma when I got fuel, and I haven't cleaned it since. There's just a couple of times I've hit the wipers because, again, that spitty rain like this and a little bit of dust that's been on the windows just made it hard to see. But knock on wood, the hard stuff's done, and our only broken thing is the poor aerial, which, when you see this, so when we done Flinders track at Hawker, the nut had undone from the bottom of the mount, but here there's just this plastic bit that threads up inside the aerial. I kept on tightening it down thinking it was coming loose on that, but it actually had already snapped, and I was just tightening it down onto a plastic thread, so as soon as you hit a bit of corrugation that does that, it bloody fell over again. So that's been zip tied since we crossed the Jardine on the way up, and it's going to stay like that for the rest of the way home. I do have another one of them type aerials in the shed as a spare that I got from the scrap yard, but we might do a proper base on it. But that's it. We've documented how dirty the car is. I'm seeing more blue sky, so that's a plus. We can slow down a little bit now, and although I'm seeing blue sky, I'm seeing pink sky, I'm seeing some nice sky, wherever it's going to come across on the camera. Yeah, look at that. Look at that cloud over Mount Molly. It's probably a good thing we're not 5 or 10 k's downhill a bit more, although look what's coming up over that range that it's now, and it is coming right for us, so yeah, lovely morning apart from the spits. The Mary Creek Bridge. Well, we're heading into that. I've already started getting some spits on the window, so we probably packed up just in the right time. I was going to make a coffee, but I got to stop at Mareeba down here for fuel anyway, and it's 60 k's away. Should be there by 7:30, so that'll be fine for a morning coffee. Maybe something from the pastry department, but yeah, the locals knew about that spot. I'm going to tell a story here, more for its bizarrity, if that's a word. We had a bloke and his missus come down just to wet their feet and have a bit of a chat. I think he was showing her the area. He left. As he was leaving, another car turned up with a bloke and his 2 kids. They jumped in for a swim and all that sort of stuff. They were local, had a property just up here on the back of the hill, which was all fine. And then as they were leaving, another brand new Hilux pulled up. An older Aboriginal woman, or woman of Aboriginal appearance, jumped out and walked down. How you going? Yep, good. And it's about this time, I should mention, down near the creek, half sunk or buried in the sand, was a bra. I would say pink to olive, lavender, probably lavender colour, a little bit faded. It looked like it had been there for a couple of weeks at least. Now I'm sure you've been camping and you've seen there'll be a pair of jocks or a pair of boxer shorts or something behind a tree because unfortunately someone couldn't hold it any longer, or they had to go and they didn't have any toilet paper and had to use the only disposable cloth or toilet paper like substance at their disposal. Think of what you see of that. Well, this was this bra, and this lady's come down, grabbed it, shook it off, and just beeline back to the car. Didn't go near the water, didn't wash it, nothing. And then about 10 paces from the car, next minute her arms are up in her sleeves and doing that indigenous stuff, whatever you ladies do when you put your hands up there and fully dismantle it in one click. "Oh, spider, ew," and bang, she put it on. Just bizarre. I don't know. I can't tell it any other way. That's just what happened. So that happened. She left, and then at 7 o'clock, just as I was finishing up on my laptop, uploading all my stuff, she comes back. I assume it was the same lady anyway, and picture old Flo, old Anne, whatever the blind lady is from Deadpool. She had the big Ray-Bans on, the frizzy hair. That just reminded me of that. But she certainly wasn't blind. And then anyway, yeah, about 7 o'clock as I'm getting ready to pack stuff up and climb up into the tent, she's come back with two offsiders, one younger. I say young, he'd be in his 30s, and one old bloke, he'd be 50 plus, rake fin, with a 20-litre jerry can. They went down, the younger one and her went down and filled it up, and then the older bloke stayed up near the back of the ute, and I had a bit of a chat with him. Well, we attempted to communicate. He was either completely off his tits drunk, or he was that cooked. The brain wasn't firing on all cylinders, which was a shame, but had a bit of a chat with him anyway while they were filling the jerry can up, and then they left. And then twice after that, I didn't go to bed. I climbed up in the tent, watched some stuff on the iPad, but I didn't turn it off until about 9:30, because at 9:45, headlights, spotlights, and then car slowing down. In comes another Land Cruiser. Dude pulls up down right at the creek next to me, gets out, lights a smoke, lets his dog out, throws a head torch on, goes down, has a look at the creek, has a smoke, goes down the little path beside the creek with the dog, comes back, and this is a big dog, this is a pig dog. I couldn't tell you the breed of it, but big dog anyway, and it's snooting around in the grass and starts digging at something and rustling at something, and he runs into the bush, and whatever it was, he grabbed it and took it back and took it around to his passenger seat of his car. So I don't know what, I sat there and peeked over me fly with one eye open, just watching him. Every now and then he'd poke the head torch back in my direction. I'd duck down again like a secret squirrel, but oh, it's just, you think you're out in the middle of nowhere, you think you're remote, and you just get random stuff like that happening. Now, we've missed that rain, and I've got shit on the windscreen, so we're going to give her a little tap with the washers. Note to past self, before you go on any trip, just put new windscreen washers on the bloody thing. Doesn't matter how old they are, because the ones on this are pretty bad. But as I said before, I've been lucky. There's no bugs. It's just been a couple of quick flicks of water. At Gunshot, I just filled a water bottle and tipped over it because it was clean water. I should have done the same thing there. I wasn't thinking, was I? Not thinking at all. But anyway, that was the events of the night. And then woke up at 4 o'clock and then laid in bed until 5 to 6 before getting out, as the sun come up and then disappeared. When it disappeared, I thought, oh, we're in trouble here. I thought I heard foot thunder earlier on, but yeah, anyway. So that was there. Surprisingly, no turkeys come into camp last night. First time since coming into Queensland, but I'm sure that'll be different tonight. So we'll keep on pushing along. Next stop is Mariba for fuel, coffee, and maybe something for the belly. Then down to Atherton, back down over the gap to down to Innisfail, down through the rainforest there again. You've seen a lot of that on the way up when it was raining. Hopefully it's not raining this time, but we'll see. There's a couple of lookouts there I want to have a look at, and yeah, push on down to Townsville. Like I mentioned yesterday, there's a lot of waterfalls down in that area, the Tully area and that, the gorges. I've sort of come to the decision over the last day or two, with not being able to go out to Lakeland or to make myself feel better about not going out to Lakefield and Cooktown and that. Next year, I'm coming back up. We're doing it. We're going to come up next year. The missus is going to come with me. We're going to bring the van. We're going to tow it up to Port Douglas or Wonga Beach or something, and then leave it there and go up. You can do Cape Trib and the Creb in one big loop in a day. Apparently, it's about a 7-hour day if you don't stop too long to smell the roses. But it's not rough and tumble like the old teletrack, so the wife shouldn't mind it as much. But even go up something to Cooktown, stay the night, go up to Ellen Beach, Coloured Sands, do that, come back, and then come down, leave the van at Wonga Beach for 2 nights while we go up there or something. So that's what we're doing. Because we're going up to there, we're going to go up and do Tully. We'll go do Tully Gorge. We'll go and do all the sites, because it'll be just a specific that Townsville to Cape Cooktown. You wouldn't think I've been researching this and trying to do this for 5 years and still get the names wrong or jumbled up. But yeah, that's going to be a trip, and that's what we're going to do next year. So we'll plan for that. Do a couple of modifications to this vehicle to get it up to that trip. Don't need doing it from the van. The van's sitting there ready to go. Spy Camera Museum, Herberton. Spy Camera Museum. You'd think something like that would be in Canberra or one of the major cities, but it's amazing what little quirky museums you find out here in the middle of nowhere. Obviously, the Mad Max 2 museum out at Silverton comes to mind, but at least the movie and other films and TV productions were filmed there. The Doll Museum in Drodgery. I was going to say Ginger, not Ginger, Drodgery. Just little things here, there and everywhere. The Croc Tent. Surely the Croc Tent would do a lot better business if it was down at the Jardine Ferry, especially with busy times when people have to wait to get across the ferry. And here's a juncture too, which I nearly thought about doing, but again, weather. Just before Mount Molly here, there is a turn off. You can go across through the hills to Mossman and Port Douglas from here. But yeah, it's just this rain's come from there, and there's more forecast today. There's like 80% chance of 10 to 20 mil, so that's pretty guaranteed. It's going to be wet. Nice little creek. Oh, good on you. Massive campground here. Toilet block, fruit stall, dried mango, strictly 48-hour maximum stay. That's probably why we didn't have anyone come into camp last night. They were all here. So what? I don't know. That's the name. I didn't. Well, it's just outside of Mount Molly anyway. Here's the Mount Molly sign here. So whatever that little creek is. Again, something like that in a caravan, I have no problem. It's just when you're sleeping in a rooftop tent, you want the windows wide open for maximum airflow, and you might be sleeping in your baby suit. It's just a little bit of extra privacy I need by being extra remote. It's why I haven't, as much as I wanted to, just pull into a powered side of the caravan park. If it's anything like previous caravan sites, the powered stuff's all side by side, because vans just pull up side by side and don't care about security. What do you call it? I can't remember the name of the word now. Don't care about airing each other's dirty laundry anyway, but yeah, I'm not sleeping in a rooftop tent in between vans. Jam Sawmill, 1983. Big old stationary engine. Brick stack. paperboard warehouse shed on the roof, on the hill up there. All fenced off. Anyway, enough yabbity yabbita. That's been 13 minutes of talk. Yeah, cue the next montage, traveller montage. We'll keep heading down. We've got our lookout at Atherton. That's our next point of interest anyway. So until then, I'll get some fuel and I'll catch us down the road a bit further. all that beauty and then my ugly face. Good morning, budget travellers. We had a bit of a cheat day yesterday, or last night before. Got back into Townsville about 1 o'clock, and I didn't realise my mate, I thought he wasn't working, or he was working for the week, but he was. I'll do that again. I thought he was working for the week, but he wasn't. So we spent the night before back in Townsville, and then yesterday morning about 8 o'clock we set sail, which was Monday morning, set sail south. Yeah. Big day of driving yesterday. So our goal yesterday was Rolleston, or specifically Mollyember Creek rest area, which is about 5k that way. Got to Rolleston last night about 5:15 and gone, well, let's push it a bit further. No, 5 o'clock. Push a bit further anyway and got to the parking bay, but I stopped on the way up and set the drone up. I'll turn the camera around. Set the drone up because we're right in this escarpment country here, south of Rolleston. You're not going to see it through the trees there, but the other ones are starting to light up now. I'm about to get the drone up. Kept on going until we found this little track that come up off the road. Hasn't been used a hell of a lot, so goes up. There's a dam over there, and it keeps on going up to the escarpment, but I didn't want to go up there just in case we're going to stumble onto private property. It's a cracking spot. Unfortunately, the first thing I done when I got out, being in Queensland too long, was left me thongs in the car and straight up bang onto a cat's eye or a burr. So I don't know if it broke off in there, but that foot's still sore, and climbing up and down the ladder didn't help either. But yeah, so I found this spot last night, pulled in about 5:45. We had about 45 minutes of light left before the sun went down. Just smashed a couple of muesli bars and that was it for the night. So it's 5:45 now. The sun's coming up over that ridge onto that escarpment country. We might get the drone up. Today's push, we've got another 1,000 k's. We're going to push down back into New South Wales to Knoble, and another road train. They've been running all night. I'm about 400 or 500 metres off the road, but you can hear them coming for a mile, and you can hear them departing for a mile too. But yeah, today's destination is probably Canamble. Another 1,000 k's away. We'll push down south. There's something in Roma I need to see. We've got to get fuel in Roma, and then we've only got fuel to get in Gilgandra, and that's it for the trip. So we are almost done. Almost done. But we'll get the eye in the sky up. You can have a good look at these cliffs, and yeah, we'll keep on pushing south. Which way is that oversize going?
4 metres, mate.
Damn it, he's going our way. That's going to be a slow trip up the hill. Anyway, we'll turn around. I'll turn you around here. We've woke up this morning to one hell of a heavy dew on the ground. The car was soaked. You'd think we'd had a 5 mil of rain overnight, but we didn't. So, but that escarpment country was beautiful. It's funny how it seems the locals only care about the destinations that the tourists want to go to and jump up and down about them, but when you got other beautiful country out here and seemingly no local cultural tribes advertising that anyway. So this is this little track. It was just off the side of the road, blinking you'd miss it. There's a couple along here I remember seeing on the way through. I was going to pull up to get the drone up to shoot that cliffs before on the way up, but didn't get a chance to. But we struck it lucky with the camp again. Next to no flies, maybe one or two. 0 mosquitoes. The only problem is these bloody nymphs. Anyone that's seen me overnight stay in a pine forest video on the motorbike, I just love these little black nymphs, but they'll just buzzing everywhere. And I pulled the Thermacell out, I pulled the Bushmans out, I wet my hair, I tried everything, and they just flooded around and hung. You know, they don't do anything, but it's just the annoyance of having them crawling on you. You can just feel it crawling on your skin, but plenty without getting run over by a road train. So that window where it looks a lot worse than it is. And all you're going to see is sun, so you can come back to me. Foggy wind mirrors, I didn't do that before we left. So yeah, it's nice cliff country. There's a lot of this through the middle of Queensland here, from Emerald, Claremont all the way down. Yet it's never talked about. I never hear it talked about. I never see videos about it. So we'll put that drone video up on its own and see if it gets any views or more likely comments, because there is some local Aboriginal heritage and I've just violated somehow. But and this is an unfenced section of highway, so the comment before about not wanting to go on the private property is probably moot, because I'm driving through private property. But I pulled off the road there, camped, left 0 trace. This will be fun. I don't know if I filmed it when we come up, but when I come through here on the way up, a couple of times you come past an oversized, in this case it was a header or harvester on the back of a float, and there was about 20 cars and caravans lined up behind them, because there's just no, for the next probably 40-50 k's, there's no overtaking opportunities whatsoever. Even the hill, the climb up the range here out of this valley, there's no overtaking lane, there's no slow vehicle lane, it's just dual carriageway all the way up, single carriageway all the way up. So we should be an hour and a half to Roma. It's probably going to be 2 hours, but that's alright. When you've got country like this to look at, who cares if you're only doing 50k an hour? Quite spectacular. I should mention too, I put half a litre of oil in the engine this morning. I've been watching it, checking it every morning. The one plus about having to sleep in the rooftop tent is getting your car level, so the engine's level to check each morning. I've got a little gauge here, I'll show you when I do a full review. Check out that review, you'll see what I've got down here. But been watching on the way up and noticing the oil slowly dropping on the dipstick. Essentially the car's been treated like a truck, like my truck. It just drives and drives and drives and never turns off. Being used as a generator sorry, just gonna get some demist on here because this window is fogging up. Having been used as a generator to keep that battery topped up, it's just, yeah. And it's probably just a good thing, not a good thing. I didn't need to thrash it too much up there on the old teletrack and that either, so it hasn't been. Oh, it's more escarpment country here too. You're probably not going to see that, but yeah. Anyway, I've been watching it drop. It was over full, typical dealer servicing. I don't think I've ever got a car back from a dealer, whether it's Toyota or Holden or whatever, that hasn't been overfilled with oil. It seems to be the job of the apprentice, and when the apprentice does it, yep, all good. Throw the cap on and send her out, and it's probably got half a litre to a litre oil, more oil in it than it needs. So, but it has burnt some down. We've done 5,976 kilometres at this point, and it come down about halfway on the dipstick. Now the dipstick itself, you've probably only got 20 mil from high to low, so here he is now. Not a large range, and in the scheme of things, probably. Well, I put a half a litre back in it, so it's obviously used half a litre. It didn't quite get it, or would have got not quite to the high level. So I didn't bring any spare oil or anything with me. Being a newer car, I thought it's going to be right, unless I pull up somewhere and notice a big black spot underneath it. All your servos and that on the way up have all that sort of stuff. There's no need to overload your car with them sort of spares. If you can drive from Victoria to Bamaga or drive from Victoria to Bramwell Junction without using any oil, needing any lubricants and that, then you can do the old teletrack or whatever. That's engine oil. Power steering oil, I've got a little power steering oil container in the back because it takes bugger all. I've got a little brake fluid container in the back just in case of a torn or broken brake line. And what was the other one? Oh, and a little bottle of unconcentrate, little bottle of coolant that I can add if it did get hot and spew water out or whatever else, if the thermostat failed. But apart from that, that's all the spare fluids and liquids I brought with me. This bloke's going alright. We're sitting on 85, 86. Get up behind him and stay about 50 metres, 100 metres behind him, just in case an overtaking opportunity does come up, but it probably won't. So what else? That's the state of the car. All the other fluids look fine. Get around in the morning and have a bit of a look under just to make sure there's no spots of oil on the ground, nothing seems to be leaking. The one good thing about having the dusty roads and those sort of conditions is it's pretty easy to spot when you've dropped some oil or left some oil on the ground. So, but anyway, turn this back around that we're not now on facing the sun, except for that bit. This float's towing his comb for his header behind him as well, so technically he's a busy road train. 2 trailers. I know why, but I wish under some kind of permit or something we could tow 2 small trailers behind a vehicle at home. If I could tow the caravan and the boat behind it, being a semi-driver, so here comes this very steep climb. I better turn this up, we've got another truck coming.
Yeah, same. Go for you, mate, 4 metres. Just got 2 trucks coming down, Ben. Yeah, we'll get a bit of room here.
Now we go into low speed. But it does give us time to look at the countryside a little bit more. Turn my lights on too, just to be seen. Bumps.
Good, over there, mate. I'll pull up just at the end of his arm cove here. Alright, cheers, mate.
Funnily enough, a pretty steep drop down here, and there's no safety ramps or anything if you come unstuck. But you tend to get more of the seasoned drivers out doing this sort of stuff. Load of steel or something. They're travelling together. See, once I leave a camp spot too, I'm always looking for other places to camp. There's a place off to the right here, big rocky pad that could have been fine. Although getting a little bit off the road, getting that privacy, not being able to be seen from the road, just that OPSEC, being able to camp out of sight, not having to worry about someone come up on you at night, the law coming up on you to tell you can't camp here, all that sort of thing. And for the record, we're doing 15 kilometres an hour. Well, Donegal's even going this slow on the old telly track. Except for the gunshot bypass. This is about as slow as we're going into the gunshot bypass. Just putting along, pushing the sand corrugations down to make it less rough. From memory, I think we get a straight here, but I don't know. Probably need a couple hundred metres of straight to get around in this room. But look at the cliffs. They've just carved this road down through this, made this gorge. No guardrails, no MCO. If you come off the road here, you're going to bounce back on anyway. How wide his load is, he won't even know I'm back here. I'm surprised he hasn't got a rear pilot. Well, I've never done anything this big. I don't know what the law is for pilots. Maybe it's only on dual carriageway you need one front and rear. Anyway, that's us here for Rolleston, heading for Roma. Got a couple of things I want to check out there, and then we're going to be sprinting for the border. So, cue to montage. I'm sorry it's just montage after montage in this, but there's a lot of Ks to travel, and not a lot to see in between. One last thing, Dad. It's been quite humorous actually coming down through the guts here, mate. First, and I noticed on the way up, welcome to Mackay This might be one now as well. Welcome to Mackay. I don't know if it's shy, but Mackay region, even though we're 500 k's inland and nowhere near the coast. And then we had the same, no, it's just outback Queensland. So they've acknowledged we left the coast. And then there was another one south of, or coming into Claremont or something with Emerald with the Tropic of Capricorn, and welcome to the Capricorn coast and all this sort of stuff. I'm like, yeah, right. We're nowhere near the coast. Oh, that food van's still there. There's a food van over inside that parking bay. It's probably the biggest parking bay I've seen along the side of the road here. There's a food van, and over in the sticks there's an old Millard caravan. Looks like it's been here for eons. There's shit around it. There's a porta potty set up over in the corner, so someone must pump that out. And just, yeah, serving coffee and donuts to meals to truckies and whoever's coming along. I forgot about that. If I wasn't narrating, I would have been in there to get a coffee, but no, that's going to be Roma, so onward, southbound on the great inland highway. So, we've just pulled in here at Roma to get fuel. I didn't want to rush out there, but idiot pulled in behind me. There's 4 empty gantries there, pumps, and he pulled in behind me to get fuel behind me. So, anyway, we're in Roma, 8:30 in the morning. This whole time I've been, well, the whole fuel budget for this trip was cash. I had pretty much cash for all the planned fuel stops, and with the way banks are and everything, it's all been $50 bills. Nothing bigger, nothing less, unless I've had amounts
4
like
meters wide, westbound out of United.
It's a decent dozer. Unless I've had like $105, $110. I've got $5 notes in me little cash box here, but let's see what this dozer is. Oh, it's only 6. No, 8T. Followed by a scraper, 657. No, 637. Yeah, so I've been, every time I got fuel,
4 meters wide, westbound towards Bungle Creek.
yeah, rightio. Every time I've pulled into a servo to get fuel, I've pulled out however many 50s I need, plus the cash to cover it. That's the first time that Mobil, they got a little duvlucky at the counter, scanning. It's like a little light table, so light shines through the $50 note to show if it's fake or not, I only guess. Nice coffee though. It's just, yeah, the first time I've ever seen it. I don't know if counterfeit's an issue in Roma, and that's that's why, but yeah, we sat there waiting to get me change back, and she's scanned each note. Took about 10-15 seconds per note before she put it in a cash drawer and then got me change out. I'm like, well, hey, can you scan that 20 and make sure it's not fake? Because you're scanning it going in, well, okay, maybe coming out it's fine as well, but yeah, anyway, so another 66 litres of fuel, so I could have easily done the trip, and it's easy to do the trip up and back without having a long range tank. There are fuel stations everywhere, but I've been able to dodge some of the dearer stuff and fuel up where it's cheaper, which has probably worked out better in the end. Probably in the grand scheme of things, it's probably worked out $50, maybe $100 cheaper, if that, because your difference between your sort of $1.85 to $1.95 It's only once you get up the top, long one. It's only once you get up the top and you start looking at the $2.60s, $2.85 at Bramwell Junction, $2.65 at Bamaga. That's when you're really going to start seeing your fuel money burn. But I had something I was going to look at Roma, but I didn't see it coming out. It must be down at Surat. So we'll keep on heading south. The day is still early. We've got a road train in front of us. I don't know how long we're going to be following him for, but I'm going to finish this coffee and have another ham, cheese, tomato and onion sandwich that they've been making in the servos for me in the morning. And we shall keep heading south. There it is, A55, the Great Inland Way. Just had to stop here on the way out of St George. Some old dozers and old bits of gear in this yard, all lined up, so I'm guessing maybe for sale, but there's some real gems here. Cell track, never heard of it. A little tow behind scraper, hydraulics on it, that'd be early for that machine. Most of them have got good looking track frames now on too, but tree pusher on that one. Little Caterpillar, I think that's a 22. RD4, tow behind rippers. A couple of D6s, that looks like an 8U, 6U I should say. No, D6, 8U. Angle blade on that one. Early belly dumper or articulated dump truck. D9N, there might even be a D10 up the back there. No tracks on it, no rollers on it. Green, so that's got to be a T-Rex loader. Or Terex as they call them, we used to call them T-Rex. Big Fiat Alice now. We're getting to the killdozer section here. A lot of big dozers like that up here for chaining the bush and that. Possibly the blade for it there next door. D8, maybe. There's a sticker on the side. 8G. Big bit of gear and some buckets. Some blades and a couple of buckets for loaders there beside it. But big dozers. Even a little John Deere tractor there after yellow, so maybe a Chamberlain front and loader on it. Case backhoe. There's a through the gap there, Challenger, Caterpillar Challenger base there, track frame. Looks like a little Fiat dozer in the background there too. Some old tractors over there. Oh, very nice. Good display of equipment. Man, I wish it was sitting in my backyard. Another 9G here too. Another 9G here too by the looks of it. Sadly broken down a little bit, but love the big gear, love the old gear. said, it's been fun, hot and humid Queensland, but crossing the border back into New South Wales. Next stop, Gilgandra for the night. Yeah, okay, so I've cheated out. Last night we're spending in a hotel. I've had to set the tent up because it got packed up wet this morning with the condensation up near Rolleston, but oh, hello. We're also cheating. That's not going to go down. Go down. A supreme pizza just for me. Yum yum. Cafe 41 in Gilgandra. Lovely pizza. Here it is, the last day of the trip. That sun's in a real good spot, isn't it? Oh, turn him around. Just got a key to drop off. Rubbish here. I'd done one rubbish run to a wheelie bin last night and they've moved it overnight and taken it out the front here, so it's only a couple of bottles. We'll throw them out. We'll go up to the servo and get some fuel. So that's the Silver Oaks Hotel anyway. I normally, the last 2 years we've stopped on the way back from Lightning Ridge. I've gone to there. Coming down yesterday, I don't know why I thought I'd have to change time zones crossing from New South Wales into Victoria. I didn't even think it was from Queensland into New South Wales, so I've come down, I've hit Hebort midday and kept on going off the clock on the dash for the times coming down. Got here at what I thought was 4:30. I'd messaged the hotel saying I'll be here at 4:30. Stopped and ordered the pizza on the way through town, and it was only, ate the pizza, had a couple of drinks, or more, rang home, let the missus know what the go was, and it was at 9 o'clock already on my phone. Not realising that my phone there had already gone forward an hour. That's high flow diesel. So yeah, we've been running on Queensland time in New South Wales. That's normal diesel there. Anyway, I'll get out, fuel this up, wash this windscreen off, even though we're not heading into the sun. Luckily for once, and I'll be back in a minute. $693 kilometres, like that's the longest I've gone between fuel stops. $150 at the 88.5 litres Metro in Gilgandra here. Cheapest fuel on the new at $1.70.9, and it's going to get us all the way home. So get off my face now that we're pointing the right way, and now I've given the windscreen a scrub. Got myself ham, cheese, tomato and onion sandwich. Seems to be a recurring theme here. I wish the Empire Tarcutta would throw some red onion in with the ham, cheese, tomato sandwich. I love me red onion, but unfortunately not. Unless I got them to make it fresh. No one's got time to wait for that. Coffee. Big load for a little Argosy. Look, that's it. Spill your coffee. How old are you? 6? Anyway. As we head on out of Gilgandra, I think it's only fitting to go back and let's do a bit of a recap of what we've just done. The trip, the tip, the top of Australia. And after all that, let's get a shot of the Windmill Museum. Bring her on home. Bring her on home, up to you. Oh, well, we're on 6,900 kilometres now. We've done 12 days. 14. Yeah, 12 days. Looking at the various Facebook groups and other resources online, social medias for tips, questions, all that sort of stuff up the tip. Whenever I said I was only going to be gone for a week or 2 weeks, originally 14 days, people thought I had rocks in my head. Could you do it slower? Yes, you could. Would it cost you more money? Yes, it would. Would you lose or would you gain any more from the trip? I suppose it depends what you do around the camp when you're not travelling. If you're just going to park somewhere and get on the piss for the day, then hey, it's going to cost you an extra slab or whatever in grog by hanging around for a bit longer. That's the one good thing about driving all the time was you couldn't drink while you're driving. So I've got mail. I need to change that clock. It's not 6:30. On the flip side, though, 12 days. I don't think I could do it any quicker. Well, actually, I lie. Yes, if I didn't stop, because I would have lost a day by spending the 2 nights at Townsville, getting there at or before lunchtime. Well, both times I got there before lunchtime, but I had to wait and spin my wheels for an hour or two for Steve to get out of bed or get ready or be home for me to turn up. So yeah, I could have done it in 13 days. I would have been home last night instead of the Savo, but having those overnight stays on night 3 and night 9, 10, 3 and 10, being able to have a good long hot shower, just soak, stretch out in a comfy bed, be inside in the air conditioning, especially up there in the tropics. It was definitely refreshing. It was rejuvenating, and it was good. But yeah, I don't think there's much more. I'll be back next week. We'll do a recap. If you've got any questions, don't be afraid to ask. You can email me. Email addresses should be in the description for the episode. If you want to send me any questions about what I did, what I seen, the sections of the teletrack I was on. If you want any advice or photos, I've got a lot more photos than the stuff I've shown. Hit me up, let me know, and I'll send that stuff through to you. But we'll be back next week for a bit of a recap. We'll go through the expenditure, the fuel used. We'll go all the stats. Come on, cruiser. Nice auger. And we might actually do some cooking. My freezer's still full packed from when we left. I think there was that 4-pack of fish that we got out, a small handful of wedges we had with that, and 2 chicken tenders for when we were at Port Charters Towers. The other 2 weeks of food's still in there, so that was a little off base. A lot of the time I just wanted to get in camp, something quick, something easy, not setting a heap of stuff up, and just throwing a wrap together. was the way to do it. But spin you around as we enter out. Heading southbound on the Newell. Wednesday morning. I can't believe I'm going to ring work this afternoon and tell them I'm coming back on Friday. But that's alright. We'll have Thursday at home to work on video 1 and get it out. We'll go back to work on Friday, and then we've got the weekends. See what needs to be done at home, because the Arena Vintage Machinery rally's on this weekend, and I was going to stop there on the Saturday on the way home, but since we're early, we might be able to go home. We might jump on the motorbike and head up to that, but if it happens, you'll see it in a video or two. But anyway, thanks a lot, guys and girls, for coming along on this trip. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. A lot of driving. It's just, I could have just done one video and just had me get I'll start at the bottom of the PDR on day 4 and heading up and finishing when I get back to the Wenlock River where this video started. But there's so much more of Australia when you're planning to do a trip like that. So I never knew about any of that escarpment stuff, country in between at Rolleston or Claremont. There are things I still drove past that I wish I could stop and have a look at, but that'll be for next time, because next year we're heading back up. It's already in the diary. Oh, don't pull out. Come around the corner quick enough to be able to go around him. Pick a lane. Colorado's fucked, mate. No. Triton. Wouldn't be a Triton. Oh no, it wasn't. It was a Ranger. Sucked in, that motor's stuffed. Anyway, enough Ranger hate for the day. Dubbo, 53 kilometres. Get out there and see it, get out and do it, plan it, just do it. See you in the next one, guys. Don't you remember me? Don't you remember me? It's because I'm wearing the hat. What? What? Where's the car?